I am excited about having Jemel on, and I know Jemel will add to this conversation, and there's a conversation to be had with him as well. He's an amazing, amazing creative director, artistic director. Let me give you my brother's quick little resume real quick, a little bio joint. Yes, we're digressing, but I'm with y'all. I'm looking in the comments and I'm seeing George Floyd. I see his name. Yes. Right now, I'm going to say Jemel McWilliams' name. Jemel McWilliams, my brother, amazing artistic director, choreographer, dancer. I've known him since he was a dancer. He's like lit and amazing and has this light and joy about him. And it's amazing to see him moving in this world and see all the success he's had. But that's my CJ bio, but I'm going to give you a bio so you have the facts. All right. A quintessential Renaissance man with over 10 years of professional experience, Jemel McWilliams is a highly regarded creative, artistic director, choreographer, dancer, and actor. Jemel's creative approach stems from the knowledge he gained while dancing alongside many established artists. As a dancer, his artistry, skill, and attention to detail opened many doors, and he soon began working as a choreographer's assistant. It was in that position that Jemel gained firsthand knowledge on the importance of creativity, leadership, organization, and patience. He works with all of those things immaculately. Now, as a creative director, artistic director, Jemel has the power to consistently draw out organic, inspiring performances from the world's most notable entertainers on prominent stages. His creativity and skilled techniques have been displayed domestically and globally in performances for artists including Alicia Keys, John Legend, Janelle Monae, Kelly Rowland, Nick Jonas, Tracee Ellis Ross, among other A-list performers. He's most recently responsible for Lizzo's Grammy performance, Janelle Monae's Oscars opening. He did the Coachellas last year. He did Janelle's Dirty Computer, which was one of my favorite creative expressions, and they killed that. And yeah, I feel honored and blessed to call him my friend and my brother, and I want to bring him into the room. Let's go, Jemel. Where you at, brother? Where you at? Where you at? You coming? You coming? Do I have you? Do I have you?
You got me, brother.
What's up, man?
What's up, man? What's up? What's up?
What's up? How are you?
Man, I honestly, I am.
I saw your post this morning.
Yeah.
And it further transitioned me more back. Like I was, yeah, I'm there. But yeah, you go ahead.
Honestly, I'm here.
That's
where I am. I'm here. And my goal right now is to show up for myself, show up for my community, in all the different ways. So I'm here.
You're here. Okay. You're here. I'm glad you're here, man. I'm glad you're here. Okay.
Yes. What's up, brother?
Nothing much, man. Yo.
Yeah. What's this lighting? Is it weird?
No, you look fine. You look amazing. You're fine. Like, yeah, don't do this. Don't do this. You see, I'm repping too. I'm repping. You know what I was looking at also this morning? I was looking at the Victoria's Secret Nicki Minaj, because I was just thinking back to the first time I actually like saw you in action. I've seen you in like classes or whatever, but that was like one of the early dance memories I had of you. You tell me, like, take me back, though, like, to, like, early dance days. Like, were you dancing in college? I don't know this part of your story.
Oh, for real? You my brother, and you don't even know where I
don't know this part completely. I kind of heard, but, yeah, I'm digging.
Nah, it's all good. No, my early days actually were in D.C. When I was in D.C., growing up in D.C., I danced. I was that kid that you would see at, like, the local joints just getting down, you know what I mean? A neighborhood kid just getting down, and it turned into just a expression for me, outlet for me. Stopped during middle school and high school and college. College, the closest I got to dance was in the fraternity. I was stepping cap off the side, yo to my brothers out there, and yeah, and then I didn't really get back and come back into the world of dance and the world of that type of creative expression until I started working in the Bronx, teaching after school dance to the students at the Bronx high schools in the area. Yeah. And then I decided to go back. I was like, let me just go back and start training again. You know what I'm saying? Like I definitely felt like I was already locked in with like a lot of character development that I knew that our community needed, and so I was already, because I'm really in that headspace as well. That's why I'm really affected by this time period right now because you're right. And I love that archivist. I love that. Like, I probably will steal that.
There's something there. Like, there's something there.
Yeah, there's something in that. So, you know, but I was already kind of in that headspace. And then I was like, all right, if I'm going to let dance be my vehicle for connection and vehicle to really like find a way to connect with these inner city youth, then, and you know, I wanted to also be making sure I was giving them the skill set that they deserved. So I went back training again.
Got you. Okay, so around that time, did you want to be a dancer, or were you wanting to be an artistic director, creative director? Like, did you see where this could go?
Bro, to be honest with you, I never.
What was the vision?
The vision. I was searching. I was still searching. You know what I mean? This was fresh out of college. I had double degrees, marketing, management, information system. You know what I mean? Like,
so in college, did you think you were gonna? What did you think you were gonna do in college? Like, what did you
make money? that was it, bro. For real. But that's the truth. I thought that would fulfill me. I thought that as long as I was successful, I was an upstanding citizen, you know what I mean? Like, in making money, as long as I could do that, then that was going to fulfill me. And it wasn't until I got out in corporate America, tried. It was an epic fail, bro. Like, honestly, I was
an epic fail. What happened?
Because I was the kid, I was the guy that fresh out of college, I'm taking a lunch break. You got to clock in. You got to clock out. I'm late. I come back in. They like, the boss is here and you're late. I'm sitting at my desk typing in numbers. I've gotten to the point where I am so bored. My legs are up. I'm typing in numbers like this.
In office. Like,
that's what I'm saying. It just was not meant for. God was like, son. Now let's just stop it. You know better. So I'm literally in there like da 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 da. And now, mind you, I got this job because my dad called a favor and was like, "Listen, my son needs a job. He fresh out of college. He can't figure this out. Let's just, you know what I mean, blah 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 blah."
So this is on Dad's referral.
It was.
You got to deal with him on top of that.
I did. It ain't work out in his favor and nobody's favor but mine, cause God. It just wasn't. It wasn't a look for me. It wasn't a move for me. But to be honest with you, like, you know, and I wasn't out there trying to just be outright just like disconnected and disrespectful to the space. It just wasn't the culture of corporate. It's not the culture that I thrive in. It's not the culture that I know how to really like navigate through. So it just wasn't it for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, bro. Okay. I was spending my nights every night, beyond the fact that, you know, in Harlem I was looking for parking until 4:45, 5 a.m. every morning. That's the realest story ever. Like, the realest story is in Harlem.
That's a whole
don't go out with a car and expect to come back, because you ain't gonna get a parking spot. You might as well just park in Queens and catch a train back home.
Yeah, I gave.
But yeah, so I'm out till 4 something a.m. every night, fulfilling myself creatively. You know what I'm saying? And then
okay, but in what ways? Because again, when I met you, you don't like to talk about this, but when I met you, you were a songwriter. Or, well, not that you were, you still are. But I was introduced to you as a songwriter in a studio. I was like, oh, okay. And then I saw you in dance class. I was like, okay, what's he do? Okay. And then I saw you. I was like, okay, I don't know what this
Listen, man, sometimes, you know, I'll be having shit to say. You know what I'm saying? And so as a songwriter, yeah, I was pursuing artistry at that time. I was pursuing being an artist myself. So that's why, as a dancer, I never actually set out to be a dancer. It was always just fulfilling just this passion and just this natural innate desire to perform, and love for that, which then turned into, you know, me then saying, all right, I want to make sure that I was looking for parking. Yes, I was looking for parking. I want to make sure that I am really ready, you know what I mean, to jump out there as an artist. So all of that was supposed to be adding towards that. And so when you met me, I think I was Jemel, J-M-E-L.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I
Were.
went through so many names. I was just so the world can know, my actual government name that my mother named me is Jemel, Jermel. But then what happened was I was going to these open mics. I was signing up for these open mics, and they kept calling me Jemel. Literally, like, they kept calling me Jemel, like, Jemel to the stage, Jemel to the stage. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Jemel doesn't sound cool. It's not the artist I need to be. So I was like, let me make it simple for them. So I spoke to somebody, and I was like sitting at home, and I was trying to create my brand, and I was like, all right, how do I say Jemel? Because that's what everyone calls me anyway. Only my mom and dad and brother.
Do they say the R? Do they say Jemel?
They say Jemel. Yes, they say Jemel. Okay. But only they say Jemel. But for the most part, everybody else says Jemel.
It's their name. You're their
right.
child, like...
But it's fine. But people don't call me Jemel. People call me Jemel. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to do a J''MEL. Jemel. Right? I went out doing that. People was like, Jemel. And I was like, nah, y'all, that's not going to work. Either way, it just never worked. That's in my phone. See, Danae, what's up, baby? I love you.
That's how you say it in my phone too, by the way, with an R.
Oh, Jemel.
Yeah, Jemel.
Okay, that's fine. But I say now though, just for branding purposes, unless you write me a check or you gave birth to me, it's okay. You should just call me Jemel.
Jemel.
Yeah. No, I'm just playing. Anybody can call me whatever they want as long as it's not crazy. No.
Okay, so that's when you started you went out on your own and started dancing like choreography, right? Mm-hmm. Like after that, after corporate America.
So yeah, after corporate America, I started teaching part-time in the inner city, in the Bronx. And then after teaching in the Bronx, I went back to dancing again. And then from going back to taking dance class for the kids, I started with Jamie J, and I was in his class. And he was like, "Yo, you remember? Jamie, my brother Jamie. I was in his class, and he was like, "Yo, you should come join my company. We're doing carnival." I had no idea what carnival was. I went one time. He was like, "Yeah, it's tonight. Come check it out, and we're gonna do the next one." I went. This was when it was in. Dang. I know you probably used to go too. Back in the day when it was like in this small spot. It was like small, not
downtown,
Hero.
Eastside? Where was it?
I think so. Okay. But either way, it was lit. It was crazy. It was this subculture. I walked in there and I'm just seeing all these creative people, all these dancers, all these people just expressing themselves. Instantly fell in love. Yeah. Instantly was like, oh, I'm home.
Danae says Spotlight.
Spotlight. Yes, Danae. Yes, Spotlight. Yep, that's exactly it. And at that point, I felt at home. I felt seen. I felt like, what the have I been doing all this time trying to chase a dollar rather than chasing my passion, my love, chasing what actually fulfills me, and then let everything else work its way out. You know what I mean? So.
Yes, and so then you found this culture and you went hard,
and I went hard. Once I found the culture of dance, I went hard. At that point, because anything I'm gonna do it. So I just jumped in. I was committed to it. Soon after that, I signed with Block Agency, and then after signing with Block Agency, I did Victoria's Secret fashion show. But before the Nicki Minaj year, I did the I forgot what it's called, the Wild Things, which was like this ethnic moment, but that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother discussion. But
okay. Yeah. Okay, so that's when you got but then you were dancing. How did you get into choreography?
Luam, my sister Luam, who I think you featured on here, or y'all were working it out or something. But
yeah, she was supposed to come on, and we're doing another one.
Dope. Yeah, that's my sister. Now. She saw me. She actually, funny enough, she saw me at a carnival. She saw me dancing. And she came up to me after and was like, "Yo, you're dope. Come dance with me." And then from dancing, we just became friends and we became cool. And then she realized that, I had a creative mind and a broad stroke with my vision. And then from there, I became like her second assistant to my brother Valentine, because he was assisting her at that time. And then you know, it just ended up working out over the years that, you know, I ended up working my way up and yeah, became her associate. And
okay. So a lot of these things, like you're talking about these relationships that throughout, you know, from the Jamies to then the Luams and then all of that. Like, but also it seems like you encourage, like I've been around you in rehearsals. I know how you do with the dancers. You're affirming them, how you kind of, you know, even, and you're not even a dancer now, but again, how you encourage the community even amongst them. Do you think that's part of also your success and how you, because again, like you weren't dancing, you know, from teenage years, you know, doing that, but now you're at a certain level. What is, I'm just trying to get to some of the success points of that.
Of being able to connect and being able to understand.
Like just connecting with other, like creating community, connecting the way that you connect with other, you know, other throughout your
no, I definitely think that contributes to my understanding. You know what I mean? Like for instance, I'll give you an example. One of the things that is part of my gift is my ability when I connect with artists, my ability to understand what they're feeling in that moment, right? Yeah. So having being an artist, and I see Ryan Shaw in here. Oh, what's up, Nick? She just said creates the best environments to work in. I see Ryan. He was the first person, and he took me on tour with him to sing background. Ryan can tell you right now, I was scared shitless.
Wait, like, you were singing background?
I was singing. I was ooh ah ah.
Wait, did you ooh ah
ah? Ooh yeah. Yeah, that was me doing that. Notes was sometimes they were supposed to be here, but they was over there, and I was proud, like woo yeah, woo yeah. After we had to listen back to it, we got on the bus and we listening back, and he's like, "Yeah, that's supposed to be woo yeah, woo yeah." Not quite woo yeah, like your enthusiasm, but it wasn't it. That ain't it. But
enthusiasm gets you everywhere, though.
Huh?
I said that enthusiasm will get you everywhere, though. Get you in these doors.
Exactly. And my heart was in the right place. You know what I mean? And I put in the work and I put in the effort. And you know, God told him to take me on the road with him. But all that to say, so like those experiences where exactly. I was just like Shantae. But those experiences where I understood what it felt like to be vulnerable in front of people, to be nervous for 2 years before I would even get up to sing at an open mic. I paid my little hard-earned money. I ain't had no money, y'all. I ain't had no money at all. But I would be going to these open mics every night of the week in New York City, just dreaming big, just to be like, one day I'm gonna get up on that stage and I'm gonna sing. I am. Next week happened for 2 years, but then I did actually get up there. But to understand what it takes to get up there, I can empathize with the artists when I work with them. I can understand a little bit deeper, you know, when I'm asking them to do something that's completely outside of their comfort zone, right? Yeah. That I think might be best for the performance. And, you know, that's my job, is to present it to them. But I think I can present it with a different type of delicate, like, connection. You know what I mean? And so the same with dancers. When I see dancers in the room, even though, you know, I know sometimes they're probably like, nigga, you know, but you know, I hope that they feel that I understand them. You know what I mean? And I fight for them, and I fight for that because I was them. So I think that helps with connectedness for sure.
Yes. No, and I think that they were all agree the same, that you create that atmosphere. Again, they've already been saying it here in the comments. What I want to know, okay, so what was your big break? What would you consider your big break?
Because you, like you said, I'm multi-dimensional, baby.
Like, I had a lot of big breaks. Like, no, I mean,
because I have big breaks as a person. You know what I mean? Like, because you know me.
Like, I mean, in your career. Yeah, in your career.
As a choreographer, I would say, I would say Jadena gave me an opportunity. I was already working on BET Awards for multiple artists, like the opening with Tracy Ellis Ross and Anthony Anderson with Luam. So I was doing these things as an associate choreographer. And it was obviously, she and I had discussed it, but it was about time for me to evolve out, because we both knew that I had my personal voice that I needed to get out. And, you know, that wasn't an easy thing to do. But then in the middle of it all, God was like, so I'm going to throw this at you. And Jadena came, and it was the week of the BET Awards. And his team hit me and was like, yo, Jadena want to work with you. He's going to open up the pre-show. You got 2 days. Figure it out. You know what I mean? I'm not going to turn down my brother at that point, nor the opportunity that I felt like God, I had just been praying to God, like, God, give me a sign. Like, should I stay in this assistant associate position, or should I, you know, expand out? And when that came, I knew that that was the sign. So literally I would say that was my first opportunity to really branch off and do my own thing. It was with Jadena. And then from there, you know, Janelle, Lizzo, you know.
Yeah. So then they just started to come. Then they just come in.
You know, when things are aligned and appointed for you, you know, nothing can stop it. You know what I mean? Except for you. And had I not been courageous enough to believe in myself enough to say, I'm going to find a way to make this happen. Even to this day, like, God is already pushing me right now. Like, all right, Mel, you've been sitting on this director thing for a minute. You 4 years ago, 5 years ago, when you first came to LA, you jumped out there fearless, grabbed the camera, grabbed the artist. Her name is Mad, who I hope everybody should follow. She's Mad. She's a super dope artist. She's one of my good friends. I grabbed her. She had a song. Song is dope. I got a friend that got a mansion. He renting that shit out, but we figured out. He got a mansion. I got some hot friends that are dancers. Look, I'm going to pull this together. Let's get some rehearsal space. I'll choreograph it. I want to direct it. Let's put some stuff together. I had the courage to do that then. I think that what happens with us sometimes is when we have the courage at one point and we're there, and then when you start to get outside of yourself and you start to think about what everybody else might think, you know what I mean? Or even you start to ascend to a certain place and you start to put these expectations on yourself, and you're like, all right, well, I can't present anything that's not of that same high quality that people are used to. Then you sit on your gifts. You know what I mean? So I know that right now God is like, we're not going to sit anymore, son. We're going to get up off that ass.
We're going to get up off that ass.
Yeah. I mean, there's an ass. There's like a jackass, like an ass. For those Christians that might feel some type of way about that. Oh, my God. I don't know how to get out of this one. But yeah, no.
Okay. Okay, so even with that, like, how have you flexed that muscle? So one thing about you, you're very positive. I know your kind of routine of affirmation, or your discipline of affirmations. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But how did you even flex that muscle? You know what I mean? Like, get to the point where, you know, you have so much trust in the process. You are one of those people who actually respects the process. You know, there's ups and downs, but you trust in it. It's kind of just smooth sailing. How did you get to that where you flex that?
My process has been one that literally, like, I wouldn't be here without faith. You know what I mean? Without having faith, I actually literally would not be in this position. The only thing that I ever knew was that whatever I was going to be a part of, it was going to be done with love and with light, right? And so I just committed myself to that. Even when first started working with Luam, like, I told her straight up, like, I'm like, yo, like, I don't really know where everything is going, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I just know I would love to be involved as long as everything is done with love and light, you know? So I made that a personal mission of mine. And then that's become the mission statement of anything that I'm involved in. You know what I mean? And so I got to practice what I preach, you know, and I have also seen, when I've gotten into this industry, and I was deep in it and I was challenged with options, I've seen where there were times where I moved out of myself in order to think that this is how I needed to navigate. And I was unsuccessful, bro. Like, that was the most unsuccessful dark, depressing time of my life because I would wake up and I was being somebody that I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like I was trying to be strategic. I was trying to, you know, navigate the industry and work the business. Man, that
the strategy is authenticity.
That ain't me, bro. It's just not me. I'm going to lose every time. And once I realize that I'm going to lose, don't look at that Afro Punk pillow that I stole from the festival. Sorry, y'all, if y'all watching. But it's not me. And I knew that who I am at the core is a man of faith, a man of spirituality, a man of love. And since these rooms were the rooms that I was navigating and I was creating the energy of the room, I needed it to be an energy where I could be my creative best, you know what I mean, self and my freest self. And I was just hoping that, you know, others would feel the same. They're going off in these comments. I don't even know what's happening right now.
Don't pay attention to them. They will
all right, I'm trying not to look.
I'm trying not to pay attention to y'all. I'm talking to my brother. Yo, no, but I love, and you can feel that you really do lead with love and light. That's pretty much what you just said. You kind of lead with love and light. And you have all these acts that kind of have this same, again, energy space. Like, you know what I mean? How is that? You know, was that something that was intentional? Like in terms of the type of, or you just kind of setting the bar for the type of client you work? Like, you know, how'd that happen?
It's very intentional. It's very intentional. It's intentional because that's part of my daily prayer. I pray to be a vessel every single day. I prayed before this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right before I got on here, that's why I was a couple minutes late. I was over here praying and I was like, all right, God, like I'm gonna need you to go ahead and come into this. You can settle me down. You know what I mean? Because I'm flawed. I'm gonna be messing up and nervous and all of that. But I just want whatever God wants to come out, whatever can inspire somebody else, whatever can move somebody else closer to love, especially with everything we got going on. I just want God to do. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, man, I move in that. So for the artists that have been drawn to me and I've been drawn to them, we all vibrate on a similar vibrational plane. You know what I mean? From Lizzo with all that we all know she's doing with body positivity and with just loving yourself. And it's not even just relegated to body positivity. Like I hope that people get deeper into her songs. I know that that's just what's on the surface that people realize, but it's so much deeper than just the body positivity that with her. Like it's completely loving just who you are. Loving who you are, where you are. You know what I mean? And then Janelle, oh my God, my sister with loving with those who are marginalized, you know what I mean? Those who haven't been able to speak for themselves. It's an honor to be able to tell these stories for these people, to be able to pray over my work before I go in, that I always pray, I hope it frees somebody. There's somebody watching this work that this performance, this music video, this whatever, that needs to be freed. And I understand what that feels like. You know what I mean? I think we all do. If we're being real, we've all had moments in our life where we felt ostracized, we felt marginalized, we felt left out, we felt something that wasn't of, you know what I mean, positive impact on us. You know what I mean? So for me to be aligned, and then you got John, and I'm just speaking about my current artist, but you got John, who from his the civil justice and you know, John is out on the front lines, like you know, front lines. It's quite understated how much John does, but John is in there, like this prison reform and justice reform and all that. John has been doing this for years, bro. Like John has been going to the actual court and putting himself, you know what I mean, on the stand to advocate for these things. So to be aligned with artists like that, and then they trust me to help bring their visions to life, and then to bring my ideas to life. This is literally who I am, and I just can only thank God.
I love it. It's beautiful. I'm just wondering also, what is that responsibility? Does it feel like a burden? I don't want to say burden, but responsibility. But what's the responsibility feel like? Because again, you're not just creating 5, 6, 7, 8s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That
No.
that are falling flat. You're telling stories that have substance. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it seems like it might be more of a responsibility than just the 5, 6, 7, 8. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Listen, I don't want to, because I try to be a judgment-free person, so I can't judge what a 5, 6, 7, 8 means to anyone else.
But there was no shade in that either.
Yeah. No. Of course. Yeah. But for me, I just know that this is my calling. So I do understand that there is a heavy responsibility in it for me to make sure that as I look at anything that I create and or am a part of, that I always go deeper than surface, that I always go to messaging and mission and purpose. Mm-hmm. So the responsibility does feel great, but again, it's something that I've taken on as like a daily practice. So this doesn't feel, and I say all that to say, I don't feel any extra responsibility in that than I do walking down the street and being a polite person. You know what I mean? It feels like this is who I am destined and called to be.
Good answer.
Oh, thanks.
Good answer.
I been feeling like I'm bobbing over here, so I appreciate that.
Okay. Bro, I know how busy you are. Like, you're packed. Think about last year. Like, tell me in the last 12 months, name some of the things that have been on the books.
Oh, man. Let's start with January of last year. I'm going to miss some stuff, but I started with Ellen with Lizzo, which was my first TV performance with her. Then she had Jimmy Fallon. Then Janelle had the Grammys. Wait, last year. Yeah, last year. See, last year. Janelle had the Grammys. And then Lizzo and Janelle did Coachella. And then they both did Glastonbury. And so Montreux.
You had Coachellas with both of them, both weekends.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Carry on.
Yes. Yes. I think either Lizzo was Friday and Janelle was Sunday, or vice versa. It was a lot. It was a lot. Thank you to my team. It's a lot of my team in here. Yes. You know, you cannot do this. I could not have done this without the support of my assistant choreographers and my team, even my assistant, who was my assistant then. And then the amazing dancers like that I'm so blessed to know and work with. You know, they really hold me down.
You see how Jemel does? I love it. I'm getting to that with the interview. I love that you go there because it just speaks to how selfless you are. You can't even, like, I was like, give me your resume. And you're like, yeah, I did this and I did this, but they did all of this stuff. It's amazing. I love you for that, bro. I'm going to get to your team.
Okay, all right. So I'll keep going. Fine. Then I think we did, after that, I think there was like VMAs. I'm probably missing stuff, but VMAs happened. SNL happened with Lizzo. The AMAs last year. Then tours. Lizzo had a couple tours last year. 'Cause I Love You and 'Cause I Love You Too. Yeah. So we were on the road.
Movie awards, Craig just said.
Oh, thank you. Movie awards. Yes. The MTV Movie Awards.
VMAs and today.
John did iHeart Awards. I did like five or six music videos from other artists, from ex-ambassadors, because you know those are my artists that we're used to on the pop side, but you know, like I still work with bands like Magic. Why you wanna be so rude? Don't you know I'm human too? Those are my brothers. I've been working with them. I got a nice little plaque from them. Hold on, let me get my plaque. Hold on. I got props.
Get your flag, but we got 18 minutes. Come back.
Oh shit. Okay.
It all happened so fast, brother. Yeah, plaques.
Yeah, so this is cool.
I didn't even know you work with them.
Yeah, see, you know, that's my problem, man. Well, not a problem.
It's not a problem.
I'm working on that. I'm working on promoting myself and saying, but yeah, and then I also work with ex-ambassadors, and you know, others, but it was a lot of Mad did a music video last year, so yeah.
Yeah, and well, yeah, and then this year you had the Grammys with Lizzo.
And this year we opened the Grammys with Lizzo,
and then you opened the Oscars.
Open the Oscars.
Yeah, so that's like 2 weeks apart. You open the Grammys with Lizzo, you open the Oscars with Janelle. And the teams, and these are productions. I know y'all remember them. Like, they're real epic performances too. It's so crazy. Like, to even, you know, I've been with you a little bit on some of these journeys over the last few months and just seeing, you know, dipping my head in, but there's so many parts that come together. Again, your team. So getting to your team, but again, you have your team, but just how to manage it all, even in your head, because I feel like you take it in. You care about your dancers. You want the right team. You want the right energy. You pour into them at rehearsal. Not only is it steps, it's checking in. It's how are you? It's prayer. It's, you know, it's so many layers to it that I just wonder how you, like, how you're able to, how you're able to maneuver all of that, you know, with the schedule and everything you pour into it.
I'm crazy, bro. No, man, and this sounds very cliche, but God, seriously, God, okay, point in case, you still there? Yep, you still there? I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Point in case, you were documenting me for VMAs, right?
Yes.
And
which we also have, by the way. You guys should see the docu-piece, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we got some stuff coming up. CJ's my
stuff.
brother. CJ jumped in. CJ realized that I wasn't going to promote myself or nothing, so he was like, hold on, we got to figure this out. But and you saw that process. Like, you were someone who you saw me going through it. I go through it. Like, I'm an artist.
You do.
An artist.
And that's why I'm trying to pull some of these things out of you. I'm like doing it, but I'm like, because this is so much, you are really an artist. But go ahead. Go ahead. I'll let you talk.
Yeah, like I'm very passionate about this. I love it. I breathe, sleep, and eat it when I know that it's part of the purpose and the calling. And so, you know, a lot of times I don't sleep for weeks, you know, because I'm up trying to dig deeper and go further and making sure that I'm leading properly. Like, you know, I want to make sure that in my rehearsals and I've gotten back into this. I had left this for a second. Again, that whole, when you venture off the road of being you, then you are no longer walking in your purpose. And I had a reawakening, like, hold on, my purpose is more. My purpose is, I've been working on character development for myself. I've been working on mental health for myself. I'm going to bring this into the room with my dancers. At the least, if nothing more, we can share in that. You know what I mean? Fuck a perfect performance. You know what I mean? That's not what it's about. It's about creating better people for all of us, you know? So I'll get into that space sometimes. I'll get into the space of, is this performance deep enough and impactful enough? You know what I mean? And I will literally sit there and agonize all night. So I'll say, man, like, the only thing that I think, because my mother can't talk me down, there are times when she's like, son, have you eaten today? No, I haven't eaten. I haven't eaten in a few days, Mom, but it's okay. Well, no, it's not okay. You have to eat. You have to actually eat. Yeah, I'm gonna eat, but I'm so filled up with passion. You know what I mean? So I think prayer and God, that's why I'm saying, I know it sounds cliche, but prayer and God. And I just be like, all right, God, like, I need you to actually take over in this moment. So specifically VMAs,
that was so powerful.
And I was agonizing because I had the option to focus in at rehearsal on some of the technical things that weren't together, or I had the option to use it as a moment where I felt like some of these dancers, these women in this room, needed to be set free. They needed to set themselves free in order to go on stage and set everybody in the world free that needed it at that moment, that were called to that moment for them. And so we spent the rehearsal right after camera blocking, which is, for a lot of creatives, that's your key rehearsal. You know exactly what's going to happen. So now you can go perfect the show, make it perfect, right?
Yeah.
It's the VMAs. Like, it wasn't my first time doing the VMAs, but it was 90% of these girls' first time doing the VMAs. And so I wanted it to be perfect for them. And that was one of those moments where I had to just step back, reduce myself, and say, God, what do you need? And God was like, let's spend this day, let these women connect, let these women free themselves, and then let me do the rest. And literally, I didn't get to any of my notes that I wanted to get to from camera blocking. I didn't get to any of that. And I had to say, God, okay, I turn it over to you. I did what you asked me to do. I'm nervous. I am freaking out. It was the day of. I was still freaking out because I was like, I don't know whether this is going to stand up to people's expectations. And that was the thing, bro. Like, even still, I was still focused on if it was going to stand up to people's expectations. You understand what I'm saying? What am I delivering strong enough to be respected in this space? You know what I mean? Woo! I'm still trying to prove that I'm worth this. Even though I've done all these things prior to this, I'm still trying to prove that I'm worth it. But who was I trying to prove it to, bro? And I'm telling you, that's why I was in tears. As soon as I felt the Spirit of God come into that room, you know, this was more specifically when Lizzo started giving this speech that we had not rehearsed. It was not planned. It was going to be, and I wanted her to trust me that God was going to move. She trusted God, so we just had to trust in that process. You could just feel everything move. And to this day, I still get chills when I watch that performance. I'm not really good at watching my performances back a whole lot, but when I do, I still get chills. And that's when I knew, without a doubt, that what God has appointed, just trust, just be in faith, and just let God do the rest. Just do the work and let God do the rest. So I've just been trying to, like, just do the work and be out the way, man.
Sometimes I gotta let things breathe. Woo! Do the work and let God do the rest. That's everything.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
No, and even that moment was beautiful. And the moment you had with the dancers before the Oscars, you know, the circle as well. It's just like you always are creating these spaces, these safe, supportive spaces for dancers. Like, it's bigger than just the choreography. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me say this. People have this notion, and so did I, that the industry is the devil's industry, right? The industry is full of evil. And there's a lot of that, but there's a lot of that everywhere. You know, it's just people like to just associate that with the entertainment industry specifically. But I am not afraid to be vocal about the fact that I know that this is bigger than me, and that God is bigger than me, and that I'm not here because of just my own doing. You know what I mean? So I'm not afraid to walk in any room and profess, you know, that I'm a spiritual being and that my process needs to have a spiritual perspective connected to it. And if it doesn't, then you don't want me. And that's okay. But I won't be able to be my best self for you if I'm trying to be something that I'm not. And so this is not the opportunity for me, you know? So, yeah, brother. So for me, it's been important to lock in on that and stay sound on that and just let that just be it. And wherever God takes it, whether it's the biggest artist in the world or artists that don't get the biggest, the biggest looks or whatever, and don't have the biggest budgets and all of that, the biggest impact is that I know that we're going to be rooted in purpose. We're going to be rooted in something bigger than making millions and billions of dollars and shucking and jiving and entertaining people. But we're saving souls. We're healing hearts. Artivist.
Yo, artivist. That's what I'm telling y'all. Taking it back to the top of the hour is when art meets responsibility and purpose, bro. And I love that. I mean, I love that about you. I love that about your work. But again, I feel like more of us need to stand on that. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Join us, y'all. Whoever's watching this, like, you know, I say this a lot. Like, I do a lot of different exercises they're organic and they come from me in the moment. They come from God that placed it inside of me in the moment because I put that out there. But like, use it, take it. I tell my dancers all the time, because whether it be my assistants or whatever, like, this is not about me. This is about us pushing forward something bigger than all of us. You know what I mean? So take it. Let's spread this on. Let's all stand together because we're much, much more powerful in numbers. Let's stand together on the fact of, yo, if this job is lacking a spiritual connectedness that you feel and you feel like you should not be in there, get out.
Like, get out, or be vocal enough to be led to say something.
Yes,
it might not be
makes a change,
but risk it. Like, yeah, but yeah, you have to be vocal. And all, you have the dancer instances. There's all instances of just being vocal about again, our spirituality, and when our spirituality then meets purpose, and then there's conversations that need to be had. Again, one right now, George Floyd, then you use that. You say that. You say things that don't feel right. You know, you give the right energy. You come into these spaces with the right energy. You give the right vibes. It's positivity. It's just like, it's just, yeah. I'm hyped. The people are coming down the aisles.
I love you, man.
Open, bro.
I love you. I love the people. I love everybody, man.
Yo. Okay. So, all right. So what?
Janae, we serving fish plates after service. I can't even look. I gotta look at you. I can't even look at the comments because y'all are hilarious.
Don't pay attention to them. Danae got the comments. Danae handles the comments for us. She's
okay. All right.
No, but okay, bro. So, I mean, I got 6 minutes. Let me see. Where do I want to go? Where do you want to go? I know I got places. You want me to
go? You can go, but I just want to make sure that wherever we go, by the end, I want everybody on this live who's been in this chat to feel affirmed again. Like, we are going through the craziest times of our life right now. But I want to give this small story because this helped me get through yesterday. I've been crying. I'm gonna get emotional. I've been crying for a couple days, right, over all of this. I'm an artist, but I'm a human being. I am impacted by this. I'm a black man. I'm a black man that has definitely dealt with racism throughout my entire life. I have black parents who are connected and have kept me in the know of what's going on, right? And so I innately feel what's happening in the world. I innately feel the pain. I innately feel everybody's frustration. And I innately feel all of our desire to do something, but even not knowing what to do. So yesterday I had a dermatologist appointment. I went into the dermatologist and I was fine, I thought. And then she walked in and she was a black woman and she was my mom's age. I looked at her and instantly started crying. I didn't know. I just started crying. My tears just started coming. Black man tears, frustrated, angry tears just started coming down. Didn't know what it was. And she looked at me and she said, I know. Okay, sorry. She looked at me and she said, are you okay? And I said, nah, are you? And she closed the door and she sat down and she just told me, I cried the whole way here to work today. Mind you, she is the doctor. This is her office. She's the boss. She closed the door and said, I cried my entire ride here to work today. But I had to show up to work. I had to show up to work to be here for you. And we have to show up for each other. We have to not lose sight of hope. She was like, once we've lost hope, we've lost. And so I just want to pass this on to everybody that is watching, everybody that's out there that's trying to figure it out. We need each other. To my brothers and sisters, don't forget to check on each other, because right now, whether we are vocal about it or not, this is trauma that we're all dealing with, and none of us know how to deal with it. None of us completely know how to process it. We're all figuring this out together, but we can figure it out together. We just have to be hopeful, and we just have to stay connected to each other and believe that we're going to get through this. You know what I'm saying? And it's super important. Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
I was trying to give you some music in the background.
Yeah, no.
Seriously, no. That
you can let it play.
Really, that is on. So, we got like 3 minutes. I love you. This was amazing.
I love you too.
I want to say, I'm excited about. There are many more moments we have coming up. By the way, guys, this is your introduction to Jemel in the creative. Well, not really, because we did the other piece before. But you know, in terms of office hours, it is. But we have a lot more coming up. Thank you for, even in the midst of this moment and how we're feeling and how you felt when you got up. Thank you for showing up for us, for, you know, for just, again, it speaks to who you are as an artist, as an artivist. The fact that you push through to speak, to show up, and then also to speak up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm glad, and it's so appropriate that you would be closing this out. Office Hours Season 1. You're our last interview of the season. Tomorrow we have
I'm honored.
Of the season, bro. But we got so many other moments coming with Jemel. So I know y'all are like, there's so much more. Jemel is like, he home. Like, yeah, we got a lot more moments coming with him. For real. For real.
And I know you have curated and you were ready to curate this interview a way, and then it may have flown a different way. But I thank you for this platform for creatives. I thank you for being a person that I was able to connect with today, because I could have made the choice. I have power to make my own decisions. I could have made the choice to stay in my room and be tearful and be angry and be mad. But, you know, the thought of connecting with my fellow brother who may be feeling something too, and to support this platform that is here to support the creatives, is like, you have definitely given me an outlet, and I hope that other people feel inspired. And you know, we're gonna keep this going. I look forward to supporting everything you got coming up. I look forward to the people knowing. I know you probably, it's a countdown probably, right?
It's a countdown. It's like 1 minute and 3 seconds. Right?
1 minute and 3 seconds. All right, so we're gonna get this all in. Y'all, CJ is my brother. We got some stuff coming up.
We got stuff coming. We got stuff. Process, Jemel. He got other stuff we work. It's lots. I'm excited.
It's lots. It's lots. But stay encouraged, everybody. Stay encouraged. Stay in the fight, y'all. Like, we in the fight. All right, we can't back out of it, so we in the fight. So yes, we got to get up every day, and we got to connect. But also find a way to make sure you take care of your mental health, because we need you healthy to fight. Just like I knew I needed to take a step back for a second. I couldn't go to the rally yesterday because I wasn't emotionally stable enough for me yesterday. But if I need to get into it today, I'm ready. So yeah.
I love you, brother. Thank you.
I love y'all. I love you too, brother.
For the season finale, it's gonna be great. God bless y'all.
I'm tuning in.
Tune in. Clocking in. Clock in.